Where and when were you born?
Oh, well, that's easy. I was born in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, on January 12th, 1939.
What was your bedroom like growing up?
My what?
Your bedroom.
Oh, my bedroom. Well, I didn't have my own bedroom growing up. So there were three of us in our room.
Mm-hmm.
So my sister and I slept in bunks, and then my brother Roger slept in the crib next to us.
Can you describe the neighborhood you grew up in?
Oh, yes. I lived in a small neighborhood on the St. Lawrence River that was like a cottage area. And it was very nice. It was a nice place to grow up. The houses were all tight together. And there was a field across the road where we played baseball. And, all the kids would just go and, pick up a game and play. It wasn't organized or anything like that. And then in the summer, we swam because it was on the river. So, yeah, it was a nice place to grow up. Yeah.
So I guess that kind of leads into the next question of when you were a teenager, what did you like to do for fun?
Oh, I swam. What did I like to do for fun when I was a teenager? It wasn't homework, I can tell you that. But we had a center, a recreation center where all the kids went, and there was a skating rink in the wintertime, and baseball, football, and all that. And there were Friday night dances, and so that's what we did. Friday nights the dances weren't at the school; they were at the center. Yeah, that was it.
What kinds of things did your family spend money on?
Oh, well, my family didn't have very much money, so what kind of things that you've got me wondering about that now. We did very simple things. We really didn't take trips or anything like that.
What was the question, Sadie?
What kinds of things did your family spend money on?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't quite know how to answer that because there really wasn't very much money to spend.
Well, your dad had to maintain the boat, right? To go out to get the minnows and things like that.
Yeah, but
so
that
if you had to spend money, like what did you,
Well, exactly.
To live. You spend money to live, right?
Right. Well, one of our annual things was we would go to the Belmont Park, which was an amusement park, with the Ferris wheel and all that. That was our big annual thing. So the rides were a nickel, 5 cents a ride on this special day, and what else? And then another annual thing we did that we spent money on was we would go to the botanical gardens, spend the day in the botanical gardens. What else did we do? I don't know. Most of the things we did were on the water. Yeah. And you didn't spend much money on that. Okay, sorry. Sounds boring, doesn't it?
No.
No, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it.
What was the best gift you remember receiving as a child?
Oh, my best gift. I remember it's funny, this just came into my mind. I remember one year I got this huge teddy bear. It was like a panda. It was black and white, but it was like life-size. It was as big as I was. That was my best gift.
What was your first job?
Oh, well, my first job was babysitting. That's what I did. And it was 25 cents an hour for babysitting. That's what it was. Except after midnight, it went up to 50 cents. Yeah.
How and when did you get engaged?
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got engaged, Papa and I, up at the cottage where Papa's family had a cottage on the lake, and that's where we got engaged. Yeah, in 1957, right?
Yeah.
No, 58, somewhere around there.
50, must have been 58.
Yeah.
How is my father like me?
How is your father like you? Oh, that's a good question. I like that one. Wow. Wish I'd had a chance to think about this.
That's the point.
That's the point. Yeah. Well, I think what I would say is that you're both caring people. Nice people, you know, like people that you want to be friends with and everything.
Okay.
Okay.
How is my mother like me?
Oh, well, you are like your mother in a way that you're even-keeled. It's not like up and down, it's like even-keeled. And what else could I say? Wish I could have thought about this before. Well, you're both, you know, your mother's a very caring person too, so I guess that's why you're a caring person, because of your parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have something to do, like, you do it, right? And I think you got some of that from your mother too.
How many children do you have?
Oh, well, I had 4 children. Yeah. Yeah.
What is the best thing about being a parent?
Oh, it's the love that you get back. I mean, you just, you love your children so much, and you get that love back more than you give, you know.
What is the best thing about being a grandparent?
Oh. Well, let's put it this way. If I had known that being a grandparent was so much fun, I would have been a grandparent before being a parent.
But that's not possible.
I mean, being a grandparent is the best. There's nothing better than that. It's so much, it's, when you're a grandparent, you don't have to worry about the discipline part and all that, you know. You just can enjoy all the good parts about it. And it's especially easy when you have nice grandchildren.
What makes you proud of your children?
Oh my God. Their success in their lives, the people that they've chosen to be with. I think what makes me so proud is knowing that they've turned out to be good people.
What do you remember about me when I was born?
Oh my God. Oh, that was like the best experience for me. Oh my God, we were so excited. You were our first grandchild, and we were, oh my God, so excited about it. But what I remember is being in the waiting room with your other grandparents and waiting and waiting and waiting. Yeah, and then finally someone came out. I don't know, was it you, Dan, or
Yeah.
the nurse came out and said, "All right, you can come in."
Maybe it was me.
It was you?
I said, it's a girl. And his mom said, are you sure? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she's perfect.
And
Yeah.
she's perfect, yeah. But it was a nice experience because then we all went, your other grandparents and Papa and I, we all went and slept together
Yeah, that was special.
at your house in Westwood. That was special, yeah. It was a very special night. Yeah. So did that answer that? I forgot the question.
Yes, it did. How old were you when you got married?
Oh, I was 20.
What's the most difficult thing that's ever happened to you?
It was losing my child. Yeah.
Did you ever have a nickname as a child?
A what?
A nickname.
Oh, Dan. Yeah, that's what all my friends called me, Dan.
Really?
You didn't know that?
No.
What's that? I didn't hear
Dan. Like when Carol comes, my friend Carol, she calls me Dan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what my nickname was.
Do you have any special sayings or expressions?
Oh, I must have. Can't think. I can't think of one now. Can't.
What's the song you sing?
A song that I
The,
sing? Oh.
What is that song? With the kisses.
I love you.
A bushel and a peck.
A bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a question, though.
That can answer it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you won $1 million, what would you do with the money?
Oh, God. Well, I would just want to have enough to get through the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
What would I do with $1 million? I used to say that I'd want to travel, but I'm kind of too tired for that now. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'd buy myself a fancy car. But, oh, I know what I would do. I would bring everybody on a trip together, our whole family,
That would be
everybody
fun.
together. We'd pick a place and we'd all go. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
Yeah. And I'd pay the whole bill. You could have anything you wanted. That's what I would do with $1 million. And then I'd buy a fancy car.
The final question is, what does love mean to individuals?
To individuals?
Yes.
Ooh, did you get this question too? Oh, this is so tough. What does love mean to... Oh, I don't know if I can answer this question. Love is... What is love? That's a very good question. And love means caring about someone more than you care about yourself.
Good.
Is that good?
Mm-hmm. What year were you born?
I was born December 14th, 1937.
Who was more strict, your mother or your father?
My father was very strict. My mother was very easy to please.
How much allowance did you receive, if any?
The allowance, I really didn't receive much allowance. My parents were not rich and basically didn't get much in the way of allowance until I started working summer and weekends and around 15.
Mm-hmm. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have a brother and 2 sisters. One of the sisters is deceased 2 years ago.
How did your family celebrate holidays?
Well, we had family gatherings, much like we have today with you and your family. And, my mother did a lot of cooking and it was quiet and simple, but we had a nice time. Yeah.
How old were you when you received your license?
Actually, I was quite a bit older than you are, because in those days you weren't allowed to drive at 16 in Montreal. So I think I was 21 when I started. Yeah.
What was the best gift you remember receiving as a child?
Oh boy. I think one of the nicest things I was ever given, I was young age, it was something called it was a mechanical game where you assembled moving parts. There was an electrical motor, and I spent a lot of time building things with that.
Mm-hmm. What was your favorite vacation as a child?
Well, I spent a lot of nice vacations with my uncle and aunt.
Mm-hmm.
They had a cottage in Ontario on the St. Lawrence River, and I spent all my summers there, and we swam every day, and it was I fished at night, and had a wonderful time there in Ontario.
Did you have any pets growing up?
Really, I did not have any pets because we had a small house and 4 children. We didn't have any pets.
Mm-hmm. When you were a teenager, what did you do for fun?
Well, my fun mainly was playing sports. I played a lot of hockey and football and stuff like that. I did that. But ask me the question again.
When you were a teenager, what did you do for fun?
Okay, all right. So then we went out Friday nights to the Y dances, and the boys all sat on one side in the room, and the girls were all on the other side, and we were too shy, but we'd meet in the middle and dance, and then we'd go back. That's what we did, stuff like that. Funny, eh?
Mm-hmm. Who taught you how to drive?
My father taught me how to drive, and what I should say, I got my first license at 21, but when I was 15 or 16, we were about 80 miles away from home, and my father wasn't feeling well, so he said, "You drive home." And this was at night in the fog, and I drove like 2 hours from there in the country into Montreal. I didn't know what I was doing, but there wasn't much traffic, so we were okay. Yeah.
What was your graduation from high school like?
Well, it wasn't. Graduation was nice, but I went to an all-boys school, and we didn't have any girls there, so I wasn't dating. I didn't spend a lot of time with girls growing up. So the graduation was, we had a sort of a graduation ceremony. My parents were there, and one of my best friends was a star basketball player, set me up with a girl. She was the daughter of a doctor, and I was so shy I could hardly talk to her. But so it was nice, but it was a shy event for me.
Did you attend university?
I didn't. I did attend after when I went to work for Sun Life. I was just right out of high school, and I took university courses at Sun Life, which gave me a fellowship in life office management, which was collegiate courses, but I did it all through correspondence. And then when a number of years later, Sun Life sent me to McGill University for 2 years. So I did, but I was working the whole way through.
What dreams and goals did you have for your life after you graduated from high school?
Yeah, I didn't have any specific dreams and goals. I wanted to be successful, though. I'd seen people who were successful, and I really had a burning desire in me to succeed. So I went to work in an office, and I think I impressed the people I worked for. And I started to advance, slow but sure, into management, and that's my story. Yeah.
Do you have any hobbies or special interests?
Well, my hobby, I'm really sports oriented. I coached, I played hockey, I played football, I coached my kids, and I played golf. That's and then of course our home. You know, it's a hobby to be doing things around the house. Yeah.
Over time, have you changed the way you look at people?
Since retired?
Yeah, like as you got older.
That's really a probing question. I've always tried to like people, to look for the best in them, not the worst. And I try to think everybody is a good person until they do things that contradict that. So I don't think I look at it any different now than I did before. I continue to look. I'm a glass half full person, not half empty.
What's the most difficult thing that's ever happened to you?
Well, the most difficult thing is losing our son. You know, that was so hard. But that was very, very hard. But I look to our other children and I find solace in them, and but that was the hardest. Yeah.
How do you define a successful life?
Well, it's going to be hard to find the right words, but I think to have worked hard, raised a family, brought up good children, and so when I look at everything, it's not necessarily the amount of money I've got in the bank. It's how happy my kids are and how well they're doing, and then to look at their children and how happy and successful they are, and I know they're going to be. That's a successful life, I think. I know a lot of people who don't have children, and they've been successful, but they're lacking something there, and I'm very happy about my life.
What is it like being a grandparent?
It's the most wonderful thing in the world, by and large. I think it gives us so much happiness when your grandmother and I are alone and you're not here. We talk about you all the time. We're so pleased that you're going to do well, that you're doing well, and we're proud of you. So the grandchildren are everything for us.
How should a person prepare for old age?
Oh, that's a really tough one. Really tough. Well, I really, from the financial point of view, you know, you should be planning and trying to put money aside from a young age, because later when you're retired, I've been retired 20 years, and we've had money to live on, and that's been very important. The financial part of it. The other part of it is, don't dwell on the age itself. Try to be young at heart the whole way, and be happy that way.
My final question is, what does love mean to individuals?
Wow. Wow, that is really hard. Well, each individual is different, so I can't speak for everybody else, but love is having an open heart and focusing on giving rather than receiving. I think that's important. And surrounding yourself with a nice family and nice friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's so difficult. I wish I had more. I may have to call you later and give you another answer. But
Okay.
that's about all I can say.
All right. That's good.
You were the nicest girl to talk to. Thank you.
Love you.
So, do you want your grandmother to come in, or?